So, how's it going, guys? It's Jonah from Blue Lotus Gaming here with another video. So, it has been maybe, yeah, I don't know, a couple days, maybe about a week or so since no, maybe more than that, since I created another, my last video. So, I have with you my creation here. This is purely a build that has not been done yet. You can search on YouTube. There is absolutely nobody else that has decided to go in the direction that I have with my spellbook build. So I have here with you the build called Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, of course, in the lore, excuse me, it is like this dude that was into
What's that shirt that was
this guy that was
in?
into.
What's that shirt that was in here? Stay right here. Should've been this out of the hole. We got other mixes.
Excuse me. I want to make sure looking at Aleister Crowley, the guy. So this dude was like a magician, basically. He was into, I guess you could say, dark arts, or basically he's an alchemist. If you go look up who Aleister Crowley is, he's an alchemist. That's basically what he is. And if you look at Aleister Crowley, Aleister, you can see that he has a transmutation circle on his hand. Goddamn, like every single one of these invoked is, I believe, if you think about it, these are beings that are born from their host. So if you look at each of these, you can clearly see that his staff is sticking out of the artwork here. Let me try to kind of show you here. So you see, like, Invoke Caliga, he has the staff of Aleister inside of him. So the reason why there isn't an arc, this is the archetype, that's it. The archetype is just him because he is the invoker. He's the one who can bring out the transformations or transmutations of these beings from the different realms that they come from, you see. So that's why you don't see any other, being that could, any other archetype, like type spellcaster or anything in the deck, because he's the one that brings out these fusion summons and shit like that. So I'm going to tell you why I chose all of the options that I chose in this deck. This deck has gone through over 5 different revisions, and actually I'm going to show you a new idea that I've decided to add into my deck, which is going to make the plays in this deck much more potent. So first off, we got the Grinder Golem. Grinder Golem, like I said, is probably going to get limited to 1. Maybe the next ban list after this one. Because here's the thing about Lava Golem that I think is fair, kinda. The fairest thing is that you don't get a normal summon. That's it. So you have to play him in a deck that focuses solely on special summon, or can still do their combos without a normal summon. Simple as that. And this deck is definitely one of those decks that can do that, because I've decided to do my research, well, test out all of my builds. So we run to Grinder Golem. You want to see Grinder Golem, but you really want to see everything else. At 2, he's been coming up pretty consistent. I haven't really been breaking with him at all. Then you have the 1 Priestess. You only need 1. You don't need any more than that. I've tried to run 2. It clogs. It's terrible. And here's another card that I have like recently got, to use, and it is absolutely awesome to have in the deck. Guys, I didn't know we had a spellcaster that we can just drop from my hand just because. That means that I could have really been playing Exceed spellbooks long ago without having to run Gagagas. But Gagagas is always a much more potent engine to run as far as like the Exceeds engine for spellcasters. But that's besides the point right now. So we're going to use Oracle of the Sun because he goes into our combo. So you can go Oracle into the Sun, into Jester. Now, you guys are probably like, your light bulbs are probably clicking right now. Like, this guy's playing Jester. Oh my god, he should have been playing that. Because think about it. You can normal summon Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, special summon Jester, and you can automatically go into Crowley. Automatically. That's it. I mean, you don't have to do any much more than that. Hell, you can normal summon Aleister, go into Crowley, and do things like that too. So Jester is just way too good not to run in this build. Remember, guys, we're playing Aleister Crowley, so this deck is truly meant for the use of spellbooks and invoked. Anyway, so we have 3 blue boys because we need to get remember, this is still a spellbook deck. So we run Aleister, but we also run Spellbook. Spellbook is still the main deck, and Aleister is pretty much still the engine, and everything else enables link summoning and things of that nature. So we always run Maxi. Maxi's clutch. Instant Fusion. Now, Instant Fusion is 100% one of the best cards in the deck. Key cards in the combo. So when we talk about combos, I'm talking about being able to summon Magba and Winda in one turn, turn 1, with Crowley, which means you can normal summon your spellcasters without attributes the next turn, with a set fate, and going like maybe +3 or 4 that turn, all in one turn. Okay. So we're running this. We're running the Regiki because we need to deal with problems. We run 1 knowledge, don't need no more than 1 because we got Master. Master becomes any other normal spellbook in the deck, so that's good. We always run 2 double summon. Reason why is because we can go like combos like normal summon blue boy, search secrets, secret search blue boy, then activate normal summon another blue boy. Then it helps us like do really interesting combos. So that's why that's there, right? So we got the usual engine. Normally you would run 2 Eternity because if you banish Eternity, you can't loop out your spellbooks anymore. So it really takes a pro, I suppose, a pro spellbook player not to forget to use Eternity. You only use Eternity when you're in the last moments and you really need to fuck somebody up with a fate. So when in doubt, when you have nothing else to do, nothing else you can do, you will banish your Eternity. You want to play 2 invocation. Now, let me tell you why I play 2 invocations. So normally I play 2 Aleister and 2 invocations, but I realized you have a second Aleister for 1. Next, if you run 1 invocation and somebody has like DD Crow, which I have ran into, somebody fucking DD Crowed my invocation, and I was pretty fucking pissed. Like, guys, I was really fucking pissed because I was like fucking like I couldn't invoke. So there's that. You always run 3 secrets, hands down. There's no question about it. That's just retarded if you run anything less than that. Spellbook of the Law, you run 1 because it's searchable and it's good for OTK purposes, and just in case you need to tag out your invoke, just in case somebody tries to blow your shit up. Spellbook of Wisdom, hands down, a staple, because you will go into situations where you need to wisdom somebody who tries to try you, who thinks that you don't have that wisdom in hand. And it's funny as fuck when you activate power on your monster and you try to swing, and then somebody tries to mirror force you, and you just activate wisdom and you say, what are you gonna do next? And then that monster dies and you get your search off of power. So it's a really nice combo. Fate is fate. Your fate is sealed when fate starts to get looped. That's it. You get your shit right with Fate. Fate is untargetable removal, one of the most powerful spell cards in the game. It's just way too good not to run. It gets past just about everything in the game. The only thing it doesn't get past is Masterpiece, but most people kind of fuck up, and desperate Masterpiece players do not protect him under spells, which easily allows me to just shit on them with Spellbook of Fate. Spellbook Star Hall is a staple because it allows us to power up our spellbooks, and Spellbook of Life is definitely a key component in this deck. Now, Spellbook of Life used to be a card that was just a staple, like it wasn't really like needed, like you can play the deck without it, but it comes up, right? This deck absolutely needs life. Let me tell you why. I can go into life into window after I use instant fusion, right? But then you could use Spellbook of Knowledge on life, and the monster doesn't get destroyed. It's just a free plus. It's just a free plus, bro. You can't beat that, bro. I usually try to end my turn with the knowledge on top of life. You always want to try to get your knowledge and life in your hand. You can always fix it like that, and that's why Crowley is just so good. Like Crowley, I hate that they did that though. That they just said if this card is linked something, you reveal 3. It just should have said add 1 spellbook card from your deck to your hand. It actually, I feel like it should have said add 1 prophecy or spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. It needed to be very, very good. Okay. Now here's the thing. This is purely tailored towards spellbooks. What else would you run this in? If this card, I mean, like, here's the Dark Magicians is probably the only other deck that can actually utilize this card. But why would you run that in Dark Magicians? Why? Unless you were a seasoned spellbook player and you decide to run a Dark Magician build, which I have before, but I felt like it was a bit clunky and whatever. But now it'd probably be a very powerful build if you do it right. Like I will actually create a Dark Magician deck, and I will show you guys my thoughts on my build for Dark Magicians, and show you the cool things I can do in the build that I just created a build in my mind. So this is pretty much the deck. I'm going to go to the extra deck and explain everything. Okay. Now I know that I'm talking a lot, but this is really to explain my thought processes, why I chose what I chose, and why it works. So before we get to the extra deck, you only run 2 towers. You don't need to run 3. 3 is retarded. 3 is not something you really need to run. Simple as that. Ferret Flames. Ferret Flames is a card that a friend of mine who was at the time still living, he used this card on me years ago. I was shocked as fuck, mad, and intrigued all at the same time. I was like, this card is clutch as fuck, because if you Ferret Flame somebody when they're trying to get you for game, I guarantee you more than likely they will not be able to recover, and you'll be able to recover faster than them because this is spellbooks. Simple as that. Now I run Unending Nightmare because there are decks that like, let's say you're playing against Dark Magician, right? And they activate their spell cards and shit like that. You can just Unending Nightmare pop it. And now that Unending Nightmare is on the board, there's nothing they can do to really stop you, because if they activate their trap, you can just pop it, and then it just blows up all their monsters. You can pop the field spell for Draco. They can't get their search off. You shit on pendulum decks. Absolutely shit on pendulum decks with this card. It's a card that's so well rounded, and I feel like it's needed in this meta that we are playing. playing against. Excuse me. Silent strike, silent warning, self-explanatory. Clutch cards get you out of your pinches. Just enough oomph, right? So here's some okay. So here's a new thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to run Phantom Skyblaster in this deck. Phantom Skyblaster, hands down, is a one card Aleister. Okay, he is a one card Aleister. I just wanted to show you guys my deck build before I edit it, so you can see two different versions. One without Skyblaster, one with Skyblaster. So you normal summon Skyblaster, normal activate a token, use the token to make Link Spider into Aleister the Meltdown Invoker, activate Instant Fusion, 2-card combo, summon Winda, activate Aleister's effect, search for invocation, go into Crowley. 2 cards. There's still 3 cards in your hand if you're going first. And if you're going second, you still have 4 cards in your hand. 4 cards in your hand, probably going to be a spellbook and some other spellcasters and other shit in your hand. Off of 1 card. Right? So let's say we had 3-card combo, right? So let me show you a combo. So you're gonna normal summon Blue Boy, activate double summon, normal summon Phantom Skyblaster, 2 tokens, right? So you turn 1 token into Link Spider. There's 4 monsters with different names. You can either go into Aleister, into Crowley, or you could just summon Skull Deep, and you still have 3 other cards in your hand. 3 other cards in your hand. You can special summon a card from your hand with Skull Deep and proceed to continue with your combos and shit like that. I wish that this card said normal summon or special summon, but I think that card would be absolutely broken as fuck if it said special summon, because you could special summon this with Skull Deep and summon 2 more tokens and just go out of control. But this card is going to be, I feel like people should buy a playset of these while they're just change. They're probably inexpensive as fuck right now, because they're going to be suitable replacements for Grinder Golem and Gofu. If you run 1 Gofu in your deck, I think you should run 2 Phantom Skyblasters. That's how I feel. The only reason why Gofu was good is because it was a card that you could drop from your hand, summon 2 tokens. It was like an instant link summon, right? And then you get your normal summon after that to do your plays. It's the only reason why it was good. I feel like it shouldn't have been at. I feel like this shouldn't have been at 1 if fucking Grinder Golem was at 3. But that's besides the point. They're equally like ridiculous. Anyway, this is my build. I run basically one Skull Deep. That's all you need. I run the 1000 Ounce Restrict. Calga comes in clutch. Winda, Coaches, whatever the fuck this thing is, and Makba. Makba comes in, is the best invoked, honestly. There are times when you need to summon this and Winda like will lock your opponent out of their board. Basically, they can't, like, because True Kings can't special summon themselves because they have effects. So it's like you get 1 effect activation per turn, 1 attack per turn. You get 1 special summon per turn. How are you going to deal with that when I have like Star Hall and Winda on board, and Winda's like 3000 attack? Like you and I got Fate set, bro. You ain't getting past that, bro. Like you can do a lot of things, but even if you special summon 1 time, you still ain't getting past it, bro. So it's like, come on now. Anyway, I mean the True King, I think the fire one will be able to deal with the window, because he could just pop two fires and then banish her. But if I have Makba and her on field, like you still fucked, because you activated like if I had all 3 of these on board, like these 3, you'd be fucked. Anyway, that's all my blabbering. Let's go into some replays here. Let's see here. Let's see here. It's an example. I decided not to waste my my book of life. So I fucked up. I should have just banished the starving venom, but I didn't know that it did what it did. But you'll see my fuck up. You'll see my fuck up real soon. Look at that. And that happened. I was like, I fucked up. Boop. That was it. That's a good example of the combos that I can do. And this was of my current revision. This doesn't include like other things. So let's showcase this. Okay, so let me tell you what I did wrong. I never banish a actual monster from the grave. Like if you have a light target that is not a spellcaster, like that is not a spellcaster, then banish it. Like banish the security dragon. Do not do what I just did. Because here I could have fucked them up. Here I could have summoned. I had everything in my hand to summon this window, activate the spellbook of knowledge to draw 2 cards, and end my turn with the set fate, fully live fate. I fucked it up. I was so angry, guys, because that is my combo. That's the combo. I found it. You do all that, you go into Makaba, you go into window. But it still kind of turned out to be okay. You guys are probably like, why did you do that? Well, when you stop somebody's, every time somebody normal summons that blue boy, like it's not good. It's like a bad idea. Tell you guys, this deck has a lot of combos, bro. And I don't know. I think I know why. Oh. So you can see, you can understand why I kept the strike in my hand. It was risky, but now I can set the strike because I drew another trap. So This is just a beautiful hand, bro. I mean, this is just this board, this field was just. Watch this. Get wrecked, son. Get wrecked. And he quit. He quit. He couldn't deal with that. So here's another. This is a tag duel I was in, and I just went like hard as fuck with these kids. I don't know what this guy was playing, but it was like retarded. I didn't know what the fuck this was. Just gained so much life. Now look at this hand, bro. This the god hand, bro. Look, let me show you why. Let me show you why. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. He done fucked my combo up, bro. He got me. And that was game. So that's an example of, like, you know, the power of my build. This is against my friend. He's playing some True King, Fire King shit. It's really weird. I did it so he couldn't, like, fucking do anything dumb. I was like, why did you do that? And that's why I decided not to attack. And I was just styling on him at this point. Boop. Fuck out of here. And I was just styling on them. Let's see here. Poster artists. Oh, let's see, swap. Wrong deck. Oh, it broke. Okay, well that one got broke. Let's see. I'm not sure if that one was spellbooks. Let's see, 12, 11. These are some older duels in my older builds. Let's see. Let's show you this one. My build has transcended time. I had to make some desperate plays, bro. Look at this. How dumb was that? I was like, what are you doing? I was like, got him. Look at that. It's like, get this comic hand out of here. It's like, get that comic hand out of here. And that was it. He couldn't handle that. It's a game. This is one of my earlier builds. You guys are, well, I guess I can't. Let's see. 29. Yeah, that was a long while ago, this one. Let's see. Mythical bees, miracles, link. Alright, so look at this. I kind of fucked up there, but it's okay. But he's gonna get the nuts next turn. Like, he's not gonna be able to survive this. Take a look. Look how clean that is, boy. That's why I play Wisdom. He quit after that, but that's why I play Wisdom, bro. Like, these people trying to, you know, play spellbooks in decks that they shouldn't play spellbooks in. But I mean, I get it because it works, but still, that's kind of disrespect to, you know, spellbooks. Because, you know, goddamn well, like, people wasn't playing spellbooks in other decks for real. Not like that up until Spellbook of Knowledge came out, and then like people started trying to fucking they was trying to you know, splash fucking knowledge and everything, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. So tired of people splashing their dead builds. But here's another build. It's probably my last one. It's probably broke. The game probably broke. Oh no, it did. But here's a godly hand. Look at this. GG, mate. I had like the god hand in that duel, but it just broke for me. So some of these decks build they break on me. Let's see here. Let's see. It's playing against this weird deck. Typical spellbook play, because I had nothing else that I can use to utilize the abilities. And then I had a question mark. I'm like, what the fuck? But and then I drew Lava Golem, guys. I was like, oh my god. So here we go. Back at it again. And I remember I top deck instant fusion. You'll see. Oh no, I didn't. Huh. I guess not. He got lucky. Oh, there it is. I was mad because I wasted it. That's like, fuck. Oh yeah, I did that so I can set up for next turn. Decided to get the High Priestess instead. Just gonna need her. I knew he was gonna pendulum summon, so wanted to get that +1, and it's just working, bro. Look at this. It's over. It's over. Six. Once I get the ball rolling, it's over. You can't handle that. He quit. He quit. So I think this is enough of an example. Oh wait, no, I gotta show this one. Oh wait, no, wrong deck. Wait, was this a tag duel? Oh, no, that wasn't a tag duel. Yeah, but that was a different deck. But again, guys, this is my deck build currently. I'll continue to develop this deck into the point where it becomes so consistent in what it does that I will definitely be taking this to locals, and then when I shit on people at locals, I'll be taking this to probably ranked, ARGs or something like that, or whatever. But this is definitely the build that I'll be playing in real life. I know it looks kind of weird because just everything in here is kind of like they're just random bits and pieces, but this deck is completely combo based. Completely combo based. And this is probably the most innovative version of spellbooks I can come up with, because there's nothing else that you want to run from other decks. Like, I've looked at every card that I can look at. There's nothing else you really want to run in here. I mean, you can really opt out of not even running these 2 trap cards. You can opt out into just keeping the Solemn Warning and that, just to make it a little bit more consistent. But I like to have these in there because of situations, things of that nature. So all right, guys. I had a text message. Sorry for the long pause, but I do want to say I appreciate those who have decided to add me to their channel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been a game that I've been playing since its release in America. Of course, I didn't play. I was just getting into the new era of otaku, not really like the older era, but I feel like I came in at the perfect time in anime and things like that. But this is a game that I've been playing for a very long time. I am the type of duelist that play like OCG players, and the reason why I say I play like OCG is that most OCG players, they play rogue. Like, I play rogue decks. I don't really care for meta. Now there's just some meta decks are just way too cool not to play. Like, for instance, when spellbooks came out, they became tier 0. Why? Because of, really, if you took away Jowgen, they wouldn't be tier 0. It's arguable, but there's no other card that they have access to that can lock out your opponent turn 1. There's nothing that they have. So if they had gave us Judgment back and they banned Jowgen, I promise you, like, spellbooks will be tier 1. but they wouldn't be tier 0. Not like they used to be. Because, like, Spellbook of Judgment was the card that kept spellbooks at its fast pace. I'm talking about you can run triple Star Hall and like double Fate and like, and you would you it was things you could do in spellbooks that you can't do anymore, but now you only do it on a minor scale. And I feel like it could have been put to one, and they could have banned jogging, because you remember they banned the two cards that enabled jogging. I mean, not jogging, but the everybody remember that lock that they did, the dungeon lock. That's what they call it, the dungeon lock. You could splash that in any deck imaginable, and it works, right? Jogging was abused by Spellbook of uh let's see. I'm trying to remember. This a long ass video. I'm sorry, my videos are long, dude, because I just like to talk about things. So this is a good judgment, dude. Like, they could rework this and give it a separate effect instead of giving us the ability to like special summon a spell book. They could like split it into two different effects. Like, you could choose either of these effects depending on the number of spellbooks. You could special summon a spellcaster from your deck with the with equal to the number of spellbooks activated that turn, or you could add that many spellbooks to your hand equal to that many that was activated that turn. That way, you could still dungeon somebody, but you won't get your whole entire hand back, like you did before. Now, it's arguable that like after you lock out somebody's special summon, especially in this game, you're pretty much shitted on, because I mean, what can you do when you normal summon and somebody activate Fate and flip your monster face down, and you can't do anything about it, and that's it. Like, and then we have Wisdom, so Wisdom protects us from Regiki, so you really can't get out of it. So it'll still be a strong ass card, but I feel like there's something you can do. With this card was perfect for spellbooks though. It did everything. This in one card. This thing did everything spellbooks was supposed to do, and much more. It just so happened that jogging was the perfect target for it, because if jogging didn't exist in this game, this card would not be banned. I promise you. Spellbooks would have been tier 1. This card would have been at 1. There was no point in putting it at 1, because you're going to use one spellbook with judgment per turn. That's just how powerful spellbooks is. You're going to use one. But that's besides the point, guys. This is my build. I decided to run the Skyblasters because that's like a one-turn Aleister, and if you draw the right hand, you can go into a one card, like 2 or 3 card combo into Skull Deed into this, it's just combo based. You just have to pick it apart, learn it yourselves, and I hope you guys enjoy.